Still at 27 days of July, 4:20 p.m. The sun angles come down with some overcast. I'm going to show this some more in this video, you know, so people can see the screen on this machine. You know, what was being said about this machine is the 2D screen has really no value. Okay? And I guess this guy has changed his story now. Digger. And he thinks it has no value when it comes to just non-ferrous targets. He thought it may have had value with ferrous versus non-ferrous. Well, it has value with non-ferrous targets, and that's the video I showed. I've cleaned this screen off here. All right. We're going to look at this again here, okay, just to show you. Now, part of this is frequency driven, okay. You see it down there. Now, that foil reads 10 on this machine. That's high. That's not just a little single layer piece of Reynolds wrap foil. That's pretty high conductor, you know what I'm saying? That's a 10, I believe I showed earlier. We'll probably look at it again. You see the mercury diamond. They're close together. This is a 9-inch coil. So what this 2D screen allows for is it allows you to be suspicious of indicated ID. And in doing so, the 2D trace can help the user see a possible co-located target scenario, even using lower or higher frequency. And I will show you here, okay? This is all-terrain general, everything, and you see in this video, speed 4. All right? Horseshoes in, there's no discrimination. You see that trace screen? See how it's in there? It's like a little mini horseshoe going from the right section over to the left section. If that was only a solo piece of foil or that silver dime down there, you wouldn't see that with this machine, okay? Notice the ID. Let me see if I can get this right here. Now, it paints a better trace coming from left to right than right to left. See it in there? Now that's all-terrain general, so that's not using the highest frequency or frequency weight on this machine. It's not using the lowest. Okay, now we're going to go to all-terrain low conductors. Same speed 4. What happens? You hear that? And you also get to see a trace in there that's being like a little mini horseshoe, goes all the way across that screen. See it there? Notice the ID. You would never suspect a silver coin looking just at that ID. Now that's that's one region, all tones. And I'll change the profile to simple. We'll listen to it again. All terrain, low conductors. See that? So there's a long trace in that screen on that, even using this higher weighted frequency program. Now, we're going to go down here. All-terrain high conductors, again, speed 4. Notice what happens. Now we don't have as much trace going left to right, and notice the ID. Notice that. That's still shy of silver dime ID. By the way, this control test here, this coil is right at 7 inches above that dime. I've measured it. That ID is not a silver dime. It's low. Okay? But you can still see some stretching. But people would probably dig a 74.5 with this machine in all-terrain high conductor for a silver coin or a high conductive coin versus what they would see in all-terrain general. See that? See that trace? See that trace? Okay, so you can run all-terrain general and see some things in the wild with that, you know, it'll give you some clues. Now, we can go over here while we're here just to show you. Now, there's disadvantages to running single frequency. What does 5 kilohertz do here? You see that? Okay. Remember what single frequency ops in a site, 5 kilohertz, you know, you gain some stuff and you lose some stuff. Dependent, okay? Now I see where Digger's done one over there and said, oh, I checked this with my Legend and it's giving a 45, 44, 46 ID. That's bullshit. Tell you that right now, okay? I done owned a damn Legend. The only thing they changed on it was M3. And I'm one of the ones said that machine when it was released was a dog in modern trash because of situations like that. Using M1 and M2. Now that's a 9-inch coil on this machine. And if I had a Legend out here and I swept over that, you're not going to get a dime ID or a point or two less within a point or two on that scenario with the Legend. Not running M1 and M2. I don't think. M3 now is going to do better. Just like this machine does better in all-terrain high conductor. Alright? See, I already know you're full of it. Here's why. Because I'm going to turn that Deus 2 on. It's got a 9-inch coil on it. We're going to look at it in 40 kilohertz multi-frequency, max frequency band, and 24. And watch what happens on this with the Deus 2. Watch what happens. A person may pass on that because it looks like a zinc and penny. See what I'm saying? They may pass on it, but that's not a zinc and penny. That's the old mercury dime right there. Now, I'm not running any notch now, remember. I'm going to show the Deus 2 with no notch. All-terrain general. Horseshoes in, there's no notch, no disc. All tones, one region all tones. You get to see that trace in there. So that makes that target right there very, very suspect. Okay, the ID in that meter. Now notice the ID doesn't correspond with where the trace is reporting on the right side. And I showed that in an earlier video when I applied discrimination to the actual machine. There it is right there. Discrimination. I've got the machine discriminated out to 51. So that's the region you're looking at right there. Number 51. That's where it's cut off right there. Watch what happens here. See how far right of that 51? Quite a ways over there. That trace pops in there quite a ways over. Now I don't know exactly where. It looks like to me it would be somewhere around 65 maybe. Okay. See that? Okay, let me turn this camera on. We're going to fire up this mighty Deus 2. All right, I've got this Deus 2 set up. We'll look at speed reactivity 1.5, sensitive FT. Okay, I'll turn the sensitivity to 92. It's quiet out here. Here's the old Zinc 40 kilohertz max band. You see that ID, okay? So here I come over this. You see that ID. 77, 78, 76, okay? So based on the ID, and I'm in the full tones, offset it's at 10. You would probably never suspect that is a silver coin down there, would you? How many tones do we hear here? It's one tone, ain't it? One tone. I've got 79 through 81 coming in that meter. That's 40 kilohertz max. Now remember, all-terrain low conductors on that Manticore, I could see that trace, even though the ID was low, I could see that trace being stretched. I don't get any clue here of co-located target, do I? Listen. Now we're running, speed forward. I'm running this machine for depth too. All right. Now what I will do, I didn't show it with a Manticore, okay, here's 2.5 for speed on the Deus 2. No help. One tone, you hear it? Same ID. 79, 78 through 81. Speed's going to go back to 1.5 and remain there. All right, now we're going to change the frequency max to 24. What happens? Okay, I got an 84 in there, 85. See it? Here's a Zinc penny. See that? So you can be running 24 max frequency on this machine and come over that, and you may dismiss it. Oh, that's a trashy Zinc, and I'm not going to dig that. Whereas in all-terrain general, that machine's sitting right over there. What's it telling you? Uh-oh. Oh, I've got an ID of 52 in the window, but I've got a stretched trace. I've got high and low conductors showing up in that 2D screen. Well, what have I got in this thing? You see the ID. All right. Let me turn this camera off briefly. All right, camera is back on. All right. We got the old XY screen open. We're still in 24 max frequency. Now, it does a better job than the 40 max. The ID does come up, but it makes it look like that Zinc penny, huh? All right, so what happens here? Let me change the zoom on this thing. All right, got it back on here. Now, this is going to be sort of hard for me to show, but now I got the zoom set to 6. So as far as me looking at this screen and looking at that solo Zinc penny, this XY screen on this machine is not telling me what that machine is telling me, the Manticore. Okay. This screen is smaller, and it's going to be hard for you to see. But you can take my word for it, okay? On that scenario there, that machine over there is telling me newer. Alright? Even running that machine over there in a higher weighted frequency program. Remember, I'm running this thing in 24 max frequency. Let me turn the camera off briefly. Okay, it's probably got a little bit more overcast. We'll look at this Manticore just one more time right quick. Maybe you'll get a good look at this screen here. All-terrain general. You see that trace? Move the camera over here. Let's see. There we go. You see that? So that's what it's doing, okay? It's giving you information, and it's not aligned with the ID. See the ID on that machine? Look at it. See that? But you already know, I'm going to turn the horseshoe off. You see in the screen there where the number 51 corresponds. That's where the disc is cut off at. Now, I'm going to sweep with the disc in the machine. Let me get this over here where you see it maybe. See it over there? See that? Alright. Now, if we take this foil out of here, you see that foil there. I'll probably sweep it before we turn this camera off. Now the diamond's down there so low. Notice, we've lost all that stuff that was coming over there under the disc. We've got a dot down there now, okay? There's the foil, it's down there. Okay. Mash the horseshoe button. See the ID. Now that's hyper foil, okay, but that's not a little single layer piece of foil. 11, 10. Okay, so that's a pretty good masker right there. Because its conductivity's, you know, on the high side for foil. Okay? Now, I'm going to conclude this video and say this. You know, I sort of get the idea. Some people out there, now, I guess everybody is suspicious when a metal detector company releases a metal detector. Well, how about if we go this route? On the E-Track and the Explorers, they had a trace screen on them, right? For the people out there that got good with those machines, were they using data supplied, behavior or data supplied by that trace screen to get the goods, to get them silver coins? You damn right they were. You damn right they were. They were watching the behavior of that cursor. Now, where am I going with this? Well, I don't think Mind Lab and their engineers are the kinds of people, and then look, I'm not in bed with Mind Lab, but I don't believe they're the kind of people that's going to put something like this 2D screen on this detector and it just be basically a hoax. Okay, meaning it has no value. Unusable or can't get you anything in any detecting, you know, scenario with your mission or whatever. Is it perfect? No, there's no metal detector. Hell, the ID on the damn thing's not perfect, just like that one right there. The day is too. Okay. So, it can be used. And if you're out there looking for stuff, and more people have been out there horsing around with a lot of other detectors, like running Park 2 with Equinoxes, okay, Field 2, yeah. Now, there can be some use with this too on lower conductive masking, meaning you have a gold ring that's being masked with a lower conductor than the ring. And it may take its ID on that Manticore out of what you would consider gold ring. The gold ring, you know, section where gold rings would read. And if you've seen that elongation in that trace, you know, it'll be like, wait a minute. Maybe there's multiple targets down there and I'm being fooled with the ID and the tone. It's very possible. You don't get this with all the detectors. You don't get it with the Equinox. I use the Equinox. It's a good machine. Don't get me wrong. It don't cost as much as that one does. This one was invented somewhat later than it was. It was, I guess, more refined. You know, and we may see some more stuff from some other manufacturers. I don't know what they got up their sleeves. You know, they're all probably a lot smarter than me. You know, I'm just a hick from the sticks. That's going to conclude the video.